Hello everyone, welcome back to Tina Teach Python projects. Today's we're going to be making basically a program that can take your input, store it in a file, and be able to display it to you in a list. Plus, we can do, more features and functionalities such as add, clear, delete, as well as search. All right. So there's a variety of ways that you can implement these. You can make it a dictionary, you can make it a diary, basically anything that you need to have stored in a file. And this is just a very basic, in a way you can think of it as a very, very basic text editor, all right? And that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and import tkinter as tk just for short, so we don't have to type tkinter again and again. And the reason why I'm importing all of these is tkinter is the go-to library for when you need to have a graphical interface with Python, okay? So the first part, tkinter import, and then you have the star symbol right here. It means that import everything there is within tkinter. Or if you don't want that, you want something more specific and you sort of get an idea of what exactly that you are importing, you can do from tkinter import, and then you typed out the library names, okay? And if you don't know the library names, you can search it up. Tkinter, all of the libraries and what they do, it's all up there on Google or somewhere. All right, so we already have message box, we have file dialog, and then we're going to have simple dialog. I'm going to create a class and I'm going to name it dictionary app. For now, I'm just going to go with a dictionary. Naturally, you can use these codes in a variety of purposes. We have self.root equals to root, and then self.root.title. This is basically the title of your application. You'd have a window, and in the middle it would have dictionary, for example, or whatever you want to put it in. And then moving on to self.root.geometry, this defines the dimension of the your application basically. So we have 800 by 500, 800 in width, 500 in length. Self.log file, this specifies the text file that will be used to store user input. So you can have just the name. We can do just the name, and Python will automatically generate that file with that given name in whatever folder it sees fit. But if you want to make have this log file in a certain folder, you can specify the whole. As you can see there, I have dictionary entry. As you can see there, I have a dictionary entry. Moving on, let's continue with self.logs equals to self.load underline logs. And then we're going to create widgets as well. Self.create widgets. This time we can finally make another function, create widgets. Basically, this will be the navigation bar. So the area where you'll log in your ideas or your words, where you search them and where you list them, will be separate for the sake of, easier on the eye, and it's better for navigation. So we're going to have a navigation bar. Now, what I've basically done is created the bar with navigation bar equals to tk frame self root, and then navigation bar dot pack. This will handle the positioning of the bar, and as you can see, I put it on the top, so tk dot top, and I've also filled it. Next up, self dot log. These are the different buttons that you can use to navigate. For example, you can press on a button that says log in this case, and it will move you to the section that you can actually put in your user input. And there will be another one button where you can search, and another one where you can list, obviously. And do make sure that each button comes with the syntax for their position. I'm going to use pack. Pack is one of the ways that you can do it, but further down in the code, I'm going to show you another one, which is called place, using the X and the Y grid. And I'm going to put all of the buttons on the navigation bar on the left side. So they'll be on the left of each other. We'll have log and then search and then list. All right. So self.search button pack side and put it on the left. Last but not least, we're going to have the list button, self.list button equals to tk button navigation bar, text is list, command self.show list. I'm going to touch up on the command argument a little bit. We currently do not have these commands, obviously, because we have not defined them. We will define them later on in the video, but what they essentially are is, as you can see, they're commands. When you click on this button, execute the following command. If you click on the log button, execute the show log function, for example. For the search, execute show search, okay? If you're a little bit confused, just look at the names. It's exactly as it is. Whatever a function does, whatever a button does, it's all in the name. And that's why giving them appropriate names is very important, as opposed to just, ABC or XYZ. Okay, let's move on to the content. The content frame will be the part that basically show, the logs, the search, the list. Self.content frame, self.content frame equals to, dot pack, fill, both, expand, true. And then self.show log. Create a new function, show log, basically. This will show the section where we can add the user input and we can clear the entry field. And whatever we put into this part of the program, it will be reflected. Basically, it will be added to the text file that we've specified at the beginning of the code, which then will be taken, the content that we've added, right, will be taken by the search and the list functions. Idea label.place. So this is another way that you can position your elements. Tkinter is a bit, it's not as flexible as CSS or Bootstrap, because naturally that's not, Python's strong point. Python's all about the logic, all about the, the algorithms, not necessarily the front end aesthetic. With Place, you use the X and Y grid to position. And I just want to say that the starting line of the grid is up here. So imagine X, Y, okay? And we're using that grid. Now that we've specified the position for the idea, we're going to add in an entry field where we can put in our user input, basically. So we're going to type in, this is my idea, or this is my word for the dictionary. Put it in here. Make sure the width is 110. Background is black and the foreground is orange. Foreground basically is text. Self.idea and then entry and the position of the entry field. Just a little bit under the idea label. And then we're going to move on to the tag. So this is another feature that I'm going to add in. Each word or each idea will be accompanied by tags, and you can put as many tags in there as you want. Tags label, keywords, and then tags label dot place to specify where the text is going to be, and then we'll have the text entry just as we would with idea entry. Is the exact same. The only thing that changes is the text, the content tags as opposed to idea and the positioning. So text definition. Okay, I forgot to add the entry field. Let me just add this in a little bit. Self.text entry equals to tk entry self.content frame with 110. The exact same with idea. Background's black and text color will be orange. Everything else is going to be gray, so I just want some stuff to stand out. We'll do the exact same thing with definition. Okay, my bad there. Then we're going to have definition label equals to tk dot label self content frame text idea not idea, definition label place for the position x10, y is let's make it 100. Self dot definition entry equals to tk. Okay, let me just fix this. I have a typo over here. tk dot entry self content frame with 110. Background's black, and then foreground is orange. And then self definition entry dot place positioning. Let's move on to adding the add and delete buttons. The add button to add user input to the text file, and then the delete button to basically clear everything that we've inputted in the entry fields for idea tags, for the idea tags and definition. Add button. Okay, there we go. Just add a little spacing because the format was it ticked me off a bit. After we have the button with tk.button, self.content frame, and then the text is add. And we also add another command, which is add log. Afterwards, we define the position, clear button, tk button, self-content frame. The exact same with the add button. Only thing is, it's in a different position. Clear, command self.clear, entries, clear button, place x 60 and y is 150. Let's not concern ourselves with the positioning for now, right? Because I have to actually see the program for me to gauge where the x and the y should be. So let's just wing it, and then we're going to change it after we've decided on all of the commands and whatnot. And then to file, source, label, tk.label, self.content frame, to F for format, file source, dot self dot log file. What this will display is the log file that we have the user input in, basically, or dictionary in our case. File.source label place x equals to 10 and y equals to 450. And let me just correct my typo over here. Def show search. We're moving on to a different part of the program now, which is the search function. Self.clear content frame, search limit warning label equals to tk.label. This will be the, okay, not that. This will be the instruction for the search. Text equals to either entry or, what I mean by this is, for now, we're just gonna search with one word. We cannot do combination of searches yet. And then x equals 10, y equals to 10. Search widget, search label equals to TK label, self content frame, and text search entry log. Can only search one at a time. So we either search using the idea part, the definition part, or the tags part with only one word in any given entry field at a time. X equals to 10, Y equals to 27, self. There is something wrong with my L keyboard, sorry. I keep making mistakes on the L character. Self.content frame width equals to 50, background black, foreground or text color orange. As you can see, tkinter is it's a bit long. It's very simple, but it's long. Search entry dot place, x equals to 10, y equals to 45. Tags, label, we're gonna do the exact same thing, but with tags this time. All right. Label self content frame, text search tags, can only search one at a time, and positioning of the instruction, tags label dot place, x, we're going to keep x at 10, y at 69, self dot search tags, entry, this is the entry field for the tag where we can put in the words. This is the entry field where we can put in whatever words we have in mind for the tags to be searched. Equals to tk.entry self-content frame with background, foreground. You know the drill. I'm just going to go through with it. I'm going to type it. Black. And orange. Orange, not white. Last but not least, put in the last but not least, put in the position. Search tags entry, place x10, y 87. Okay, moving on to the buttons. Finally, submit button. When we press this, it will execute the search function, and it's gonna comb through our text file and return whichever idea or log or definition or tags that contain the following words that we've put into either the search entry field or the tag entry field. And don't mind the commands for now, because we're going to go through all of them after we've defined the elements, their positions, and any styling that we have. For example, with width, background, and foreground. We're going to leave all of the logic after this. Okay, create frame to hold the list box and scroll bar. The list box will be the element that display the whatever is returned from the search command. And we'll do the same with the list part as well, where we list all of our logs, all of our ideas, tags, and definitions. And the reason why I'm using a list box over here is that it's easier to develop command for them as opposed to the text element. While the text element does come with the ease of having to wrap the text and having like a scroll bar instead of manually putting in the scroll bar as we do right now. But when it comes to applying a lot of commands, functionality, search, add, delete, modify, etc. Listbox has the upper hand, so I'm going to use listbox in this case. And essentially, I'm giving the listbox a scroll bar. That's it. Scroll bar pack, side right, fill, scroll down, create a scroll bar, create a listbox widget with the Y scroll command set to the scroll bar. So we're going to scroll vertically, not horizontally. Search results, TK listbox frame, width, and then height, and background and foreground as well. I'm gonna have all of the entry fields and the list box be in black and orange. So Y scroll command, scroll bar dot self dot search results dot pack side TK left fill fill both, and then configure the scroll bar to update the list box. Scroll bar dot config command self search. So whenever we scroll down, the list box gets updated, and we can go through anything that's returned. If you don't make sure to configure and then reset the list box and whatnot, you'll get pretty bizarre behavior. Edit button. Now, in this case, the edit button will allow you to change the idea, the tags, and the definition straight from the list box search function. Edit button dot place x10, y is 300. Delete. The delete button, what it does, well, as it says, it deletes that particular log straight from the search list box. Command self dot clear, missing the L over here. Self dot clear. Okay, my bad, it's not clear. It's delete selected log, because the clear command is going to be different from whatever the delete button here is trying to achieve, which is, delete the log itself from the text file. Delete button dot place, x equals to 60, y equals to 300, and then I'm gonna have the clear button as well. TK dot button, exact same syntax with the delete button. Self dot content frame, text is clear, and command equals to self dot clear. Make sure that is an underscore. Search entries, and then clear button dot place, x equals to 123, y equals to 300. Let's move on to a function called show list, where we basically show the list. This is a display of all of the text in a given text file, and we can see all of our ideas, all of the lines, and we can then either modify or delete them as we see fit. And if we modify or delete something in the show list display in our Python program, the original text file will be changed as well. So do keep that in mind. And if you change the text file, whatever is displayed in the program will be changed also, okay? And I'm just writing like an old reminder here because this is formats dependent. New formats render old formats useless. Delete necessary, otherwise fix the raw file itself. The raw file here is the text file that the program takes in order to display, modify, and delete. Okay? Then create a frame to hold the list box and the scroll bar. List box frame equals to tk frame self content frame, and list box frame dot place x equals to 10, y will be equal to 30. And then we create a scroll bar widget for the display, so if we have a lot of text in the text file and it goes overboard beyond the display, naturally we won't be able to see the text that are outside of the boundary of the display. So I'm going to implement a scroll bar over here so we can scroll, up and down. You can also do, the left and right, but I'm going to have a wrap text function for the display. So I don't need to add a vertical scroll bar. Just a horizontal one is good enough. And then we position the scroll bar on the right and we fill. Moving on to the list box widget with the Y scroll command set to the scroll bar. What this means essentially that you're assigning the command of scrolling, the action of scrolling itself, to the scroll bar. Otherwise, you just have a scroll bar, but you cannot use it to scroll. Width 110, height equals to 28 BG is black, FG is orange, so background's black, foreground is orange. And I forgot to add the Y scroll command as well. Y scroll command, scroll bar, dot set. Moving down here, self dot logs, list box dot pack, side tk dot left fill. As you can see, what we have so far is just a variable, and then it gets assigned to the tkinter commands, where you can have the width, have the height, basically the element. You can style the element, and then after that you position the element using pack. And for any element that does a specific thing, we give them a command that is attached to a function that does something that we will define after we got all of the elements and all of the styling in place, as well as the position. All right. Self.refresh logs list box edit button equals to tk.button self.content frame text edit command equals to self.edit select as edit selected log from list. So this is a button that when you select a given line or a given idea that is displayed in the list box, and then you click on the edit button, it will allow you to edit the different parts of the log. So basically, in a text file on a line, I may have different sections. For example, I have like word equals to this word, and then I have the tags, and then I have the definition. Maybe I also have the synonyms and the antonyms. And with the edit button, I can edit those sections separately. All right. So delete button, this is to delete the whole log, the whole idea, not just a single line, because a log can be multiple lines combined, okay? delete button place, x equals to 60, y equals to 435 because I want it to be really down low.